Good morning, traders. This is Perry Wilkey with StartupTrading.com. It is Tuesday, July 14, 2020. So looking back at yesterday's action, we had some prints that went off above the bell close on Friday afternoon. That's what these blue boxes represent. And so you can see as we come into the bell, the Russell was weak. It didn't hold that level at all. Come back it down, traded into value, went back up, made some highs with the rest of the markets, and then tanked along with the rest of them going into the afternoon. So looking at the other three indices, though, they opened up in their gap. And remember, for the ES, only 23% of the time that you get a gap that's more than 10 points up or down on a Monday morning, only 23% of the time it fills. That's still 1 out of 4, basically. It's almost 25%. But usually it's a go with. So in the morning it was the go with trade, right? And then you can see the Nasdaq started to tank before. This is the European close. These blue dashed lines here. You can see the Nasdaq starting to roll back as the ES was going sideways and the Dow was lifting. So once the Dow started retreating, pretty much they all started retreating at that point in time. And you just had your liquidation break. Remember, the banks are just now reporting this morning. They just reported 3 of them, Citigroup, Wells Fargo, and JP Morgan. So this is really the start of earnings season. So trying to get that pop yesterday was probably a little bit premature, but it really hasn't changed too much, in my opinion, other than we had a week above, a look above a 4-week consolidation, 5-week consolidation period that was basically 200 points. So we had a slight look back up into that 4-day island and reversed. So if we look at how that looked just for the ES, and this is the just the 1600 tick chart, looking at the overnight value area and the previous day's value area. So the gray boxes are Friday's value area high and low, and the pink and green are the overnight value area high and low. So as you look in the vertical lines where the opening bell rings, you can see the overnight trading. This is where you started off, right? Come back in, traded value area, the overnight value area low, come back up and held above. Once you come back down and re-entered into the overnight range, right, and then lost it, it was just the liquidation break just really continued. But you can see a nice downtrend channel coming out of that high at 32.26 quarter. So looking at the overnight action, 23 points, and I'm going to actually set this to some, extend this out a little bit more. So we'll look at 30 days. And we'll go into maybe we will. We'll go into a 1 hour. So as we look at the last 30 days here, right, as we're going back and forth, you can see the important lines, 29.81, 30.61 half, and up here at 31.70.75. So those are the important support resistance. They pretty much draw themselves on the chart. So as you look here, but we've got an important little spot in between, above or below this, below 31.05 and above 31.15. So I'm still more bullish than not above 31.05, and then I'll be looking a little bit more bearish, but you have some untested points here. These markers that I've got off are really right around 30.79, 30.80. This could actually be support the first time it trades when it comes through this zone. Then you got the 30.61 half below it. So seeing if we do lose that level, I think you can target down to these areas, and you're going to have to do it in stair steps and see what the response is, besides looking at other like Fibonacci sequences or something. Breaking this 30.61 half and staying below it, really should lead down to this 29.81 to 29.75 area that's on the chart down here. So as we look, also what I want to show you is, I'm going to go back into the normal 15 minutes here. So as I look at where these level 4s are today, because remember the level 4s, the reason that I put these on the charts, this is the maximum range that is able to be traded today, for the on a general day. I don't think we're going to trade a max end either way, but you should always know what the max end is for the day. So it's 29.76 down at the bottom, which would be around that 75 level, and at the top it's 33.20. Well, I don't think we're hitting 33.20 today. That'll be another basically 100 points up past yesterday's high. So looking in a little bit more to the what is really probably in play for realistic ranges. Depending on which way the market breaks once the bell opens, we could really trade down probably to this 61 would be as low as I think we get the 61.5, and potentially up into value area high to the low side. That would be 81.75. And yesterday we bell opened up here right around 3,200, basically. So it was 3,200 half was the bell open for yesterday. So we'll see how this goes. But just keep in mind, as we're looking at other things, that's where the ranges really are. And we still have this 30, 70, 75, right? That's going to be resistance above until we get back over it, right? That is more substantial resistance than probably anything else above right now. So looking at all the indexes, where they fared overnight, and I do want to point out as another marker for the Russell and the Dow, if you see the blue boxes near the bottom of the range, in the bottom of the range that's traded overnight is what I mean. Those were trades that went off underwater last night after the close. You can see the close was above that water mark, right? These purple dashed lines are the settlement. That's where you go red or green on your chart. And if you look, all the indices are not too far from their settlement right now. They're trying to, make a decision. They don't know what to do, basically. So watching to see what happens with the Russell and the Dow. Do they stay above the water or they start trading under it? I think is going to help drag the ES and the NASDAQ either up or down to some of these other targets. So looking at the ES, we got up to this 32.19 quarters, what I had it marked at. So we finally had it, got up there. We couldn't get above it, right? So we basically rejected from that level. And if you look at, we're back in, last week's range. And if you look at the previous, ranges, basically we've got into this area of the charts. We can say in honesty, basically from May 27th to now. So that's basically, 6 weeks of trading. And that's the zone that we're in. So we just went to the high end of the zone, right? This is a very, this is where we sold from before, and that might be why we sold from there yesterday, right? And then we're still waiting on stuff. So this is an easy sell, the first retest, right? But look, when we sold last time, we went from 32.20 basically all the way down to 29.20. So this time, let's see what happens. But all we've done is got back into the range from Friday in the previous week. So going back up above the 79, 75, looking at it on these levels, right? They're a little bit different than my day trader levels. These are longer term levels. So as you look at going across here, getting above that 31.80, that's really going to open the door up to basically the 32.19s again, and then above. I don't think we're going to trade and close above 19 today, but we could start trading, either in the zone above or below. And I still think we're more chop and this is a fairly good range. You basically round this to 3120 and this up to 3180. That's a 50-point range. We could just sit here and chop in today and really do nothing. So today might not be the start of a move. We'll have to see once the bell rings if we start trying to drive these things down or start driving them up. So basically for the banks, I didn't read Citi's report yet, but for JP Morgan, they made basically $4.5 billion, I'm rounding, but they had to set $9 billion off, I'm rounding again, for loan loss reserve. So all the money that they made in the quarter times 2, they had to set aside for future loan loss reserves that they expect to have to capture. So basically, as much money as they made, they had to set aside twice that for loan loss reserves this month. And then you've got Wells Fargo that just really lost their ass, and they had to cut their dividend to 10 cents. So we'll see if that has. If I see J.P. Morgan, or you guys want to look at that one, see what it. You can always look at the stocks, right? We could bring up the individual tickers, and you can see, basically real quick where they're trading. That's the final indicator. Is the market, think it's above or below for yesterday. So you can see Citi looks a little bit down. And these are going to be what sets the pace for the markets today, in my opinion. You got Wells Fargo. Looks like its initial response was down. JP Morgan, on the other hand, it's up. So keep that in mind, that as we go through here, watch those 3 tickers a little bit more today than you would otherwise do. And that should help really set the what the market's going to do today. So we've already looked at the ES. Let's look at the NASDAQ real quick. So I've drawn some lines on here just to have on as reference, right? So the dotted ones are a little bit more shaky. This one in the middle, I might be tempted to take off. Let's just go ahead and take it off. So we've got 10,562 is what we're trading on right now. Below that, I just have some weak supports at 10,506, 10,463. Then I've got a little bit firmer support that starts coming in. You could even start to say and look for a first test reaction at 10,425, but really 10,380 is going to be more of a line in the sand, and then you got 10,285. To the upside, basically, I've got 10,669 and 10,748. And then I don't have anything still worth drawing or even putting on the chart, in my opinion, even with yesterday's trading action. There's nothing really to add to the chart above profile-wise. Looking at the Russell, we're flirting with this 1403. Below that, I don't have anything really substantial till 1369.80. Above, I've got some minor levels at 1421.80, then 1433.40, and 1462.60. But and below the 69, the 1369.80. Sorry about that. We're looking at 1353.60. Looking at the Dow, so we rejected off of the 26,510 yesterday, come back down, did not even hold what I think is more of a critical line, which is the 26,300. So watch that for the upside. That could still be resistance today. To the downside, I really don't have anything. The first level I have is 25,750. Then I have some weak levels below at 25,556, and then under that 25,462, and then all the way down to basically 25,100. I have it marked at 25,096 if you watch the Dow. So above this break, right, and this is really what we're looking for. This is what the ES just traded yesterday. We're looking to get up to 27,100 later this week and go. And remember, I'm not going to do anything probably until at least 10 till 10. I'm going to let the market on open orders flush out through the system this morning. I'm going to look and see if I see any sentiment from the institutions coming out. And then I'm going to see if I can either fade what has happened or go with the move that's happened. So remember, a lot of days, the higher the low for the day is made right around the 2-hour close, which is right around the European close, 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. So we could potentially get, if we don't get that reversal from basically, if we start, let's say we start flushing down, if you don't get a reversal by 10 after 10, it's probably going to be a drive whatever direction it's gone until at least 10 till 11. So you got basically another hour of momentum going that way from that point on. I hope this helps. You guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.